Hi, I'm Alan Nelson, owner and operator of Abbey Repair. I've been fixing sewing machine serges and embroidery machines for 20 years, and today I'd like to share with you how to use a Bernina 830. We're going to wind a bobbin, thread the machine, and actually get started on a project. The first thing I'd like to do is to take my thread, and for today's demonstration I'm going to be using Gutermann. Gutermann has some rough stuff on what normally, according to their printing, would be the bottom. I like that to be up out of the way. I want it to be against a smooth surface, so I'm going to put this on so it looks like it's upside down, but to me it's really the way Gutermann thread should be put on a vertical spool pin. And I love a vertical spool pin over a horizontal spool pin anytime. The horizontal spool pin has a tendency to twist thread all the time. I'm going to come off the spool of thread and I'm going to come around the bobbin tensioner. This is a spring-loaded device specifically on the machine to put a little bit of tension on the thread. I'm going to take the bobbin, I'm going to push the thread through one of the holes in the bobbin, put the bobbin on the bobbin winder and engage the bobbin winder. Then I'm going to come around backside and I'm going to open the clutch so that the hand wheel can turn and the bobbin can spin without the needle going up and down. I'm going to hold that thread above the bobbin. And I'm now winding the bobbin with the machine going as fast as it'll go. Bad things happen when you try to have the machine go as fast as it'll go when you're winding a bobbin. So you can move it along, but you don't have to go full speed. Now this thread that I'm holding is all twisted. I'm going to pull it tight and I'm going to cut it right at the bobbin. And when you do that, that little tag end disappears down inside the bobbin and it will never come out and affect your tensions. There's only so much room inside the bobbin case. If that thread gets wrapped around the outside of it, it's going to have a bad effect on your tension throughout the entire running of the bobbin. So you want that tag end to disappear inside, not get looped or hang outside of the bobbin. Now I'm going to put some more thread on there. And that's plenty for this project. Tighten the clutch, pull the bobbin off of the bobbin winder. Now I need to put the bobbin inside the bobbin case. In this case with the Bernina, the thread's going to be hanging off the right side of the bobbin. I'm going to put it in the case. I'm going to pull it in its little slot and underneath the lower tensioner. At that time, when I pull on that and I pull out away from that spring, it almost looks like that bobbin is spinning backwards. That's what I want to see. And I always want to pull a little bit of thread through there to make sure that there really is tension. There isn't a lot of tension down there. With this machine, little less than an ounce of tension. I'm going to snap the bobbin onto the pin on the hook, and then I'm going to take my thread. I'm going to make sure the pressure foot is up because that's what loosens your upper tension disc so the upper thread can get way down inside that tensioner. I'm going to come through the back thread guide, through the tensioners, down underneath the check spring. I want the thread take-up lever at the top of its stroke. I'm going to come through the last thread guide, lower the pressure foot. Now I can actually pull on that thread and see the upper tensioner really is working. And I'm going to thread the needle from front to back. Now, the thread came out of that lower thread guide, and so you just put it back in again. I want the bobbin thread to come up through the hole in the needle plate. To get that to happen, I'm going to hold on to the thread, the upper thread, and I'm going to have the needle go all the way to the bottom, come all the way to the top, and at that point, the hook lets go of the upper thread so I can pull on it, and it's already done its little twist with the bobbin thread. So it'll pull that bobbin thread just perfectly up through the hole. I have both threads through the foot and out the back. Again, I want to have the thread take-up lever at the top of its stroke before I start a stitch. I'm going to put my fabric underneath the presser foot and then lower the presser foot. Even if I have so much thick matting in there that the presser foot doesn't move, it's really important to put the presser lever down because that presser foot lever re-engages the upper tension. I want to do the first 2 stitches by hand and make sure everything feels really nice and smooth. It does. The thread must be where it's supposed to be and not where it's not supposed to be. So now I should be able to put my foot, or in this case my hand, on the foot control, and the machine will take care of me. Everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now I want to remove that fabric from the machine, and what I have to do is continue in that cycle until the thread take-up lever gets to the top of its stroke. When it does that, I know that the hook has let go of the upper thread. So I can remove my fabric and pull it out and get just a really nice stitch. And that's how you get started with the Bernina 830. Where you take it from here, it's limited only by your own imagination. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please get a hold of us on the link below. Today I'd like to walk you through a few different types of machines to show you how sewing machines, even though they're all a little different, they all pretty much do the same thing. Today I'd like to show you how to thread and wind a bobbin on the Singer 646.